Straight ahead on CCX News, a case of vandalism at a local elementary school.
They didn't hurt us, they really hurt the children.
A case that now has teachers trying to plant seeds of hope. Plus, experts on aging descend on Brooklyn Center and what they're saying about retirement. And later, meet the group of volunteers known as the Super Crew. CCX News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. Robbinsdale Elementary School is readjusting after a case of vandalism.
Lakeview Elementary sustained substantial damage to one of its outdoor spaces. Reporter Sonia Goins shows us how the crime is impacting students.
There's a lot of excitement in Mrs. Elias' second grade class.
We are planting.
Today, the students are getting their hands dirty, planting sunflower seeds.
I will push them in about halfway.
It's an activity they would normally do outside in the garden.
I feel badly that they can't be out here doing it right now.
But several weeks ago, vandals damaged the garden and forced a change in classroom curriculum.
A lot of our boards have been broken off and broken and kicked in.
Judy Bombchill and Mary Williams are tutors at the school. They're also known as the garden gurus.
They watch it grow, they can eat it, and they see that they can do this themselves at home.
For 2 years, they've taught the children gardening skills.
We already have some chives coming up.
Both were upset to learn their labor of love was destroyed.
These trellises were for our cucumbers, and it covered the whole thing, and it was really cool. Well, somebody's come through and bent all of our supports.
Now all the boards will have to be replaced because they don't make this type anymore.
I just don't understand why.
Unfortunately, this isn't the first time someone has messed with the garden. Last summer, whole plants were stolen.
Yep, zucchini plants were taken, our squash plants were taken.
Mary and Judy say it'll take about $1,500 to make repairs to the garden. They say if they don't get the funds, they'll pay for the repairs themselves.
They didn't hurt us, they really hurt the children, and that's not okay.
So for now, Mary and Judy are planting seeds of compassion and hope.
We love doing it. We want the kids to have this opportunity.
In Robbinsdale, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
Some parents are stepping up to help. Today, a parent brought in mulch and plants. A GoFundMe page has also been set up, and we've got information on our website on that, ccxmedia.org.
A man who survived a rollover crash on Interstate 494 early Friday morning was later killed when he walked across the freeway. It happened near Oakland Road on I-494 about 1 a.m. Friday. State Patrol says 31-year-old Jeremy Larson of Sartell got out of his pickup truck after it rolled over, and as he tried to walk across 494, he was struck by a car driven by a Maple Grove man. That driver was taken to North Memorial with non-life-threatening injuries. The freeway was closed for more than 3 hours while police investigated the accident.
A big first step has been made toward building an interchange that Champlin Park says is needed to connect to thousands of new jobs in the northwest part of the city. The intersection at Highway 169 and 101st Avenue is destined to become an interchange because of significant land development nearby. This week, city officials learned the interchange was recommended to receive $7 million in federal funding. The total cost of the project is $31 million. The city hopes to get more grants and state bonding to pay for the rest.
The business of aging took center stage today in Brooklyn Center.
People think that Medicare and Social Security are going to cover my needs, where that's not the fact. In fact, if you put those two together on average, that's about 1/4 to 1/3 of what people need as they're looking for their retirement and they're looking for their health care.
Hundreds of people who work in the field of aging made their way to Brooklyn Center for a conference focused on the business of aging. One of the main topics was saving for retirement, and experts say half of private sector workers do not have access to a 401k or retirement savings plan. It's why they recommend reforms to make it easier for people to save. But more importantly, they say people need to invest in themselves.
Invest in your education, invest in your health. What is it you want to be doing? I mean, look, you get one pass at this life, so you might as well be doing things that you want to be doing, and you want to be prudent, so you set money aside. And you set that money aside to pay for transitions, one of which is retirement.
The experts say a good time to start putting away more money is when your kids leave the house.
Local cities are taking steps to boost recycling. Hennepin County Commissioner Mike Opat met with officials from Brooklyn Park, Robbinsdale, and Brooklyn Center Thursday to discuss ways to reduce solid waste. Opat says the state has set a goal for Hennepin County to recycle 60% of all municipal waste by 2030. Currently, that number is at 43%. To help close that gap, Opat hopes to get more cities on board with recycling organic materials.
Well, I think the biggest potential stream of recycling is food waste and organics. So I think people are ready to start to do that and have another container, but I'm not sure. And I think most of it's going to be about, is there going to be another separate collection day, another round of trucks going through neighborhoods, things like that.
Counties in the Twin Cities Metro are required every 6 years to identify strategies to meet state recycling goals.
A Crystal woman is discovering one soldier's reunion is leading to another. Last summer, Mary Henry organized a reunion of soldiers, including her son, who were involved in a fierce firefight in Afghanistan. Now she is fundraising for 2 more reunions to be held at a Minnesota resort. They involve soldiers who fought in Iraq in 2004 and 2006. And the soldiers say it's the best kind of therapy.
My son had said in an interview once that it's like making memories that don't suck, and that's what they get to do. They get to like be together and not have to worry about getting shot at.
You can talk how you want and call each other, the names, and going back to having fun and not being judged and just, just having a blast with your buddies is what it's all about. And I don't think there's any better therapy than that.
A Medal of Honor winner is the guest speaker this weekend at a fundraiser in Brooklyn Park to help pay for the upcoming reunions. Next year, Mary plans to organize a Vietnam Veterans reunion. And if you're interested in helping out, her website is reunitingafterwar.org. Still ahead on CCX News, we meet a group of volunteers known as the Super Crew.
Plus, Osseo scores an impressive win on the softball diamond. We have the highlights.
But first, could it really happen? Snow. It's in the forecast for Sunday night into Monday. All this week for National Volunteer Appreciation Week, we've been sharing some great stories about volunteers in our area.
They give of their time selflessly to help others, and today we go next door to a set of volunteers at CCX Create who help others share their passion on television.
Sue Ellen Zagrabelny finds the stories behind the books in her CCX Create show, Book Beat.
Today we are discussing a book called The Ford Century in Minnesota.
But behind every great TV show, there's an equally great crew making it all happen.
He's following me because he knows I don't like to be filmed.
Many of whom do not want to be on camera. But these camera-shy volunteers are actually the focus of this story.
I'm not used to having a camera following me around.
Because they are a group who gets things done.
I can't say enough about Mary, Scott, Charlie, and Cheryl.
This group of volunteers is our power team.
Mary LaHaye, Charlie Brose, Scott Burdette, and Cheryl Moline are 4 volunteers who are known as the Super Crew.
They're one of the first group of people that we call when we've got a producer looking for volunteers to work on their show.
They work together and work together well. A producer knows with the Super Crew, they don't have to micromanage and they don't have to worry.
I come in and host my show. I don't have to worry about set. I don't have to worry about sound. They do everything.
We get to work together for a few hours a day and have fun while we're doing it.
The Super Crew jokes it doesn't take them all day to do an all day's work. But if you stick around long enough, you'll see they like what they do.
I like not having cameras.
As long as they aren't the ones in the spotlight.
No, I like working with everyone here. They're so much fun.
And of course, if you're a resident of the Northwest Metro, you can be a volunteer for a CCX Create show after receiving free training courses here at CCX Media. Mike, that was a hard group to interview. You could tell, couldn't you?
Trying to lose the camera.
Oh, they do a good job. Still to come, a busy weekend for theater. We'll show you what's going on locally coming up.
But first, the weather's been tough on spring sports teams. We'll get some perspective from a local high school athletic director coming up next with John Jacobson.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. This has not been the best of months for outdoor activities in Minnesota. High school athletes playing a spring sport have found the going tough too. The sun was out at Osseo today as the Orioles baseball team prepares for a Friday afternoon game. But fields like this one have been under siege from the rain. Constant postponements of games puts a strain on an already tight schedule for spring sports.
Really, when weather gets cold, you're looking at player safety and making sure you really want to get the games in when you can, because the spring schedules get really compact. Looking at safety, but at the same time trying to get games and just find the happy medium. You know, we had a softball game yesterday in 32-degree weather, but the softball schedule was so full, there was nowhere to put the game, so we just had to do our best to get it in.
Spring's got to be the worst too, because in the winter you have once in a while postponement because of snow, and fall you don't really have that.
Yeah, it's pretty tough to manage at times when you get a full week of bad weather like we've had with the rain and the cold weather, with just trying to get buses, even having enough buses to get all of our teams to different places, finding umpires to do all the games, and just the kids need rest.
Juan says all of the games and matches postponed so far at Osseo have been rescheduled, but another week of bad weather could mean the cancellation of some non-conference games. Speaking of Osseo, the Orioles softball team is one that did brave the elements Thursday to get a conference game in. The Orioles were at home against Spring Lake Park. Osseo was down 2-0 after half an inning, but they get 3 in the bottom of the first. Lane Ruska's infield hit off the pitcher plates Taylor Kotke. Bottom of the second, Kotke drives a shot deep to the fence in the left field, scoring Andrea Denslake. Orioles are up 7-2 after 2. Denslake has a big day at the plate. Bottom of the third with a hit there the other way to score Hannah Carmen, and the Orioles are up 8-3. Fifth inning, Katie Johnson drives a hit up the middle to score Denslake, and it's 10-3 Osseo. The next batter is Ruska, and she goes yard for a 3-run homer to left, giving the Orioles a 13-3 victory. Osseo is now 5-2 on the season. Champlin Park softball team has been scoring a lot of runs early this season. Rebels had another high-scoring battle Thursday. Frigid day as the Rebels hosted Elk River, and the Bats are hot early in this game. Elk River's Avery Hills driving one to the gap in left center field. 2-run score on the play. The Elks lead 2-0 in the top of the first. Coach Brian Woodley and the Rebels respond. Taylor Sloat drives it to the base of the fence in left field to score Holly Blaska. It's a double for Sloat. Next batter, Jordan Johnson, grounds a base hit up the middle, and this hit will score Riley Hewsome, and the game is tied 2-2 in the first. Still in the first inning, Piper Otto will tag it a long way to right center. Veda Stoddard scores, and Champlin Park leads at 3-2 after a wild first inning. Rebels tack on single runs in the second and third. Hewsome with a single to left to score Blaskas. The Rebels take leads of 4-3 and 5-4. But Elk River erupts for 4 runs in the fourth inning with this 3-run blast by Hills, the key hit. The Elks hold Champlin Park scoreless over the last 4 innings, and they win it 9-5. In baseball, Park Center was looking for its first conference win of the season. The Pirates were at home Thursday to face Centennial. Top of the first inning, Centennial's Wyatt Schoperster goes the opposite way, drops a hit just fair down the left field line. Dylan Grant comes in to score on the double, and it's 1-0 in favor of the Cougars. Leading 2-0 in the first, Drake Molitor singles to right field. Trey Driscoll and Zach Strite both score, and it's 4-0. The Cougars would add 4 more to lead 8-0 after 1. Third inning, Centennial adds on to its lead. Casey Leeser bloops a single to right field. Driscoll scores, and it's 10-0 after 3. Fourth inning, Brian Pearson ropes a single to center field. This will score Jackson Lalou and Ryan Koob on the base hit, and Centennial leads at 13-0. Bottom of the fourth inning, Park Center gets on the board. Ryan Stikowski at the plate. He'll single to left field. Noah Thompson scores on the hit, but it's not enough for Park Center. Centennial goes on to win 16-3 in 5 innings. The Pirates play at Armstrong on Tuesday. And one other sports note, Champlin Park senior McKinley Wright has committed to play basketball out at Colorado. We'll have more on that in the coming days here on CCX Sports. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Up next, from students to the teachers.
They're all taking the stage in the Osseo School District. Why it's a big weekend for laughs. Up next.
mowing lawns, and cleaning up the jobs, scraping bubblegum.
Dwayne Malowicki sang that song 50 years ago for the first Wastebasket Revue put on by teachers in the Osseo School District. This year, he's opening the 50th anniversary show with the same song. From the start, it's been a fun way for teachers and other Osseo employees to raise scholarship money for graduating seniors.
This year, I believe in total we're around 830 scholarships. I know prior to this year we had 802 scholarships. We're looking at a little over $1.1 million that we've given away in scholarships in the last 50 years.
There are 2 more performances tonight and Saturday night at 7. You get tickets at the door at Park Center High School. Well, if your Christmas lights are still up, hold on. They may help set the mood for Osseo High School's spring play.
Neil Pursley has more in today's Weekend Showcase.
All right, everybody sit down, shut up.
It looked like it was going to be just another normal, well, semi-normal, family Christmas Eve dinner for the Douglas family in New Jersey until Tony and Vinny barge in to avoid the cops after just robbing the neighborhood liquor store in Osseo High School's presentation of in-laws, outlaws, and other people that should be shot.
Do you people not see what's going on here? You are being held hostage.
The play takes place in 2 rooms, the dining room and the living room. Michaela Payne plays a very Jersey and over-the-top Bunny.
I've always been a big thing in accents. I've always been able to do weird accents, so I just kind of came in and started doing my Jersey accent because I used to watch the Jersey Shore, I'm not gonna lie. And it's a lot of fun. I actually like doing it. To prepare, I like to chew some gum because it really gets the accent going.
Something certainly does smell good back there. What is it?
Ham.
Oh, I love him!
This is a situational comedy and the jokes are non-stop.
Listen, Smarty Pants, when I want your comments, rally cake.
Sam Gertz does a great job playing the high-strung Tony, who passes for what would be the brains of the criminal duo.
He's really irritating, I'd say. Like really just like a straight up jerk to everybody, and you know, probably one of those situations where you definitely want him to just like get hit by like a lightning bolt or something, like right then and there.
The story is about second chances.
Why didn't you shoot us when you had the chance? I didn't want to hurt nobody. And I didn't want to hurt you.
Megan McDonough does a great job coaching these students through a thoroughly enjoyable play. From Osseo High School for Weekend Showcase, Neil Pursley, CCX News.
It's an old nickname.
In-laws, outlaws, and other people at Osseo High School is Friday and Saturday night at 7:30 and Sunday at 2. Admission is free, but there is a suggested $5 donation. Too bad I couldn't do that in a Jersey accent. I can't do what she did.
That looks like a lot of fun, and I'm told you can find practically anybody's family in some of those scenes.
Probably so. That's all the time we have for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Have a nice weekend, everyone. We'll see you back here Monday at 4.